Parshas Emor. Okay, steht in Parshas Fartem lochem imochas Shabbos. Yom haviachem es haomer atnufa Shabbos Shabbos tmimos tiena. Ad mimochas Shabbos hashvis tisbru 50 yom. Dikravtem mincha chadosh l'Adonai. So what's the kasha? Rashi, yes, Ad Memochas Shabbos Hashvis Tisbru 50 Yom sounds like you were counting 50 days, and Ba'atzim and Ba'emes, whatever, only counting 49 days. So Zok Rashi 50 Yom. Chamishim Yom v'yikravtem mincha chadosha l'Hashem v'yom ha'chamishim takrivuhu. So he's warning that it doesn't mean Tisbru 50 Yom. It's you had Mimachras HaShabbos HaShvis Tisbru, and then 50 Yom he craft him. It's whatever. I mean that's you have to get out of the problem. It's a problem, and this is the Amrani Zemed Rosh. So Rashi says that's the Medrash Ava Pshuto. So the Medrash is, according to Rashi, is going that the Chamishim is mechuba to the Yom v'yikravtem. Ava Pshuta ad mimochras HaShabbos Hashvis. But the Poshet Pshat in the Pasuk is Fartum lachem mimochras HaShabbos Yom haviachem es haomer tanuf. Ad mimochras HaShabbos Hashvis shehu Yom Chamishim Tispru. That's what it means. The Yom Chami, who Shahu Yom Chamishim, and you take the Tisbru and you put it after the Yom Chamishim. Okay, so the two ways of Rashi says Ava Pshuta Ad B'Machas HaShabbos Hashvi Shahu Yom Chamishim Tisbru or Mikra Mesurasu. So either way is not so poshet. I mean that. I think the morale is okay. So the morale is going to tie on Rashi that the Medrash is also pshuto. That we know that the morale says in other places. The pshat is that at least one other place that when we have pardes and we have pshat and we have remez and pardes and sod. So the pshat so he gives a big. The morale says they're not going on the same thing. They're going in different olamas. Each the pshat is a pshat in one olam, and the remez is a pshat in a different olam, and the sod and also the referencing different olamas, whatever. So the moral time is that this medrash is takip kipshuto. It's not drosh. This is it. Okay, all right, that's fine. But he says interessante thing. He says.
When you say in a different oilam,
yeah.
So that so it means the same thing, just a different lashon.
No,
different olamas, it means different.
This is the Rebbeinu Shalom has is lamayla from all the olamas, all the whole bria, and he's mashpia into this world, and it goes. There's dalet olamas, right? We have an atzilus, and we have a bria, we have a yitzia and a sia. So that's the way of ashpoz, that from the Rebbeinu Shalom comes down, and from the Rebbeinu Shalom to we are now in the olam asiyah. And it filters down to us. That's why it says, like in the Maral says in the Haggadah, when it says that Rabbi Akiva, there was like or Eliezer, whoever is talking, when we have one makkah, and then he says in Mitzrayim there were instead of 10 makkahs there were 40 makkahs, there were 50 makkahs. So that was the shaylas that Gash Baruch Hu's goals were a makkah. And its evolution, its appearance in this world comes down to whatever, in the mispar of the Olam Apirud, in the Olam Asiyah, which is the bottom rung where the physical world where we exist. So that pshat, that's called an Olam Apirut. So the pshat, there's no one, there's no echod, dugma in this world. The dugma of echod, the Maral says, is 5.
So we'll get
1 second. So let me just tell you. So you have four directions, and then you have the one in the middle. Is the pshat that's mechaber them all together. So that's why 5 is the dugma from echod. So memela, that's why the Maral says the pshat. So when you have the one, the gezerah from the Rebbeinu Shalom comes down, and it's filtered, comes down into this world. So that's why there's 5 makas. Each makkah is 5 makas. You have 50 makas. That's an example, giving you like the sabra and like that's the way to go. And that's why you have, we once mentioned that's why the Avram Avinu his hilchus, his mesaktis of Avodah Zarah was 400 prokim, because the pshat is that he was misbanin on the world. The world is phenomenally but this is in our world. It's the Olam Asiyah, it's called, from the Dalet Olamas, right? So the pshat, so now it's in this Olam Asiyah is expansive. It's not like it's not something beyond So Avraham Avinu was years, decades of him misbana. We remember the Rambam that we said the Rambam. That's how he got he came to the Hakara from Ribbana Shalom, because he was mamish misbana and this and from the ganze Bria. From the whole Bria, the whole Bria means like what we're now discovering. Millions of galaxies, which are light years of, light years, the speed of light in a second, it would take it for a year of light. So that's a light. I mean, it's an unfathomable distance, and the unbelievable amount of stars and stuff like that. But that's all part of this. That's all part of the Olam Asiyah. You understand? So that's how it filters down. So the Rebbeinu Shalom works through the Kechavim also, through the Mazalas. Remember, the Rambam says that's why they started being Mechabed the Kechavim Mazalas. They were Mechabed the Kechavim Mazalas because you figured you have the Melech, so you Mechabed the Avdei Melech. That's a way of being Mechabed the Melech, and that was the first Avodah Zarah. And that's why we quote Avodah Zarah as Avodas Kechavim and Mazalas. So the Pshat said that's we're going to talk about, because this is the Yesod of the Shiur. Is the Pshat is that's the idea of that's why his Mesechtes of Avodah Zarah, because he mamish had the ganze Bria. He was figured out. The ganze Bria is like is pili ployim. It's unbelievable. So we we don't do it's Avodah Zarah. It's Avodah Zarah. The Eibishter gave us whatever 5 prokim and 5. That's it. That's good. That's what we know. That's what for our Torah Sinai, which is Masuva V'osa, we're not coming to that understanding Hakara from Rebbeinu Shalom, because we ourselves are misbanin and this. It's a way of coming to the Rambam says Heichi Derek Avos Hashem and Yiras Hashem. You misbanin on the Bria, but it's not that we're now discovering the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Avram had to discover. In Das, you understand, he had to come upon the true essence of what the Rebbeinu Shalom, which was nicker in the world. So the Pshat, so he had the mamish phenem in the ganze Bria. The ganze Bria. So that's and we said it's Avodas Kechavim Mazolis is when they were mechabed the Kechavim Mazolis, because there was a shpor that comes down from the Rebbeinu Shalom through the Kechavim Mazolis. So that's why it's called Avodas Kechavim Mazolis. That's why it's called, that was the Avodah Zarah. That's the real Avodah Zarah. So
a little off the topic, but what do the other Ilamas have to do with me or the Ilam?
Because everything comes, that's what I'm saying. So all the hashpos, everything, the Ratzon, Ritzani Yisbarach, that's why we're
able to tap into those Ilamas?
Yeah, sure. So Nefesh Chaim says that's why everything is in Surah Adam, that the Nefesh of a person it comes from different places, but your neshama can come from the Olam Bria. The Malachim are in one place, the Kisei HaKavod is different madregas of where different things are in the Metzias in the world, and that's all has to do with the hashbos of how the Rebbeinu Shalom is mashpia to down to the world here.
Now, how is that answering up with Sphira? Your kasha was that it's 7 weeks and 49 days, not 50 days.
Right.
So this that it goes through the other elements, how is that helping me with the 49 versus 50 days?
We're going to get that's exactly what we're talking about. Now, I'm sorry. Where is this? No, we're gonna if we don't if it's not understood after this, then fire away. But it should be understood. Hopefully, as I told you, it's felt in Hasbar is felt in Havana. So it's my fault if you don't. But anyway, I don't. It's here, the Meral someplace. I should have put one of those things in those Shmetzigs, right? Shiur Rishon Ksir? No, I don't know. Oh. No. Okay. You'll take one, we'll look it up. But anyway, so the Maral says a very, I think I have a little Lashon here down. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. The eye in the Maral. Okay, this is Zer Lashano. V'hodolo kosav he kravd them b'yam nun. So why doesn't it just say? Why? This is the kasha. So good. There's pshat, and and you can tell me that the chamishim is mechuba to the he kraftem, or it's a mikra mesuris, and fine, no problem. But why did the Torah write like that? Why isn't the Torah just right? Plain, you count 49 days, and achakach he kraftem b'yam chamishim. There's no need for any kind of what was the point of the Torah that should write like that? That's a very big issue over here. So Zakta Maral is v'hodolo kosav he kraftem b'yam nun. Just say it straight. Say he kraftem b'yam nun. Tispru mem tes, and he kraftem b'yam nun. Then you have no problem. Sheim kosav tispru mem tes. If you say tispru mem tes yom, there's lashon Maral. Ubiyama mocharas he kraved him, and then on the next day he kraved him, means on Yom Nun, haya Yom Chamishim nivdol min memtes. The Pshat says then it would come out. You're really separating the memtes from the Nun. The memtes is Tisbru, and the Nun is when you're kraved him. V'lo haya shay klal el memtes yomim. So then, and that's basically that's what we're trying to say. Say it straight, and let the Torah say it straight, and the nun is not negayah to the memtes. Aval hu shayich el memtes yomim. So Zakta Maral that even though you're right, there is no tispru on Yom Nun, but the Yom Nun is really mechuba to the memtes. That's achir. El memtes yomim. Afal gav she'em yom chamishi nichnas imo and b'mispar hayomim. So even though in terms of the tispru, in terms of the mispar, you're not counting the nun, but the nun is the proper place for the nun is with the memtes. Very interesting thing. B'davar zehu muflag b'chochma. Zok the Maral. This is a muflag chochma ein zeh mekama. Good. So today, that's the Baruch Hashem. I think we're going to try to some kind of feel some kind of Havana. And for us is this muflag b'chochma. It's a very good. There must be a tremendous thing in here. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Be'ezer Hashem Yisbach. So again. So according to Rabbi Abnei Malchus, Hashabbos Tashvis Tizbru Chamishim Yam. So whatever the pshat will be. However you're going to understand it, but the Chamishim Yom is not a Tisbru, but the Chamishim Yom needs to be mechuba to the Tisbru Memtes Yomim. It's fine. What's pshat in that? So I think you heard before a few times. The Shtayter Bereshis Bora Elokim Eisa Shamayim ve'Eisa Aretz. Bereshis bara Elokim, and that's B'shvil Torah and B'shvil Yisrael shenikra Reshis. So it's okay. We have this pretty good, and the idea is that we said that Adam Rishon would have been called Yisrael. He would have been the kiyum of Yisrael, and the tachlis of Bria. But it says Bereishis bara Elokim. That this Elokim, what is Elokim? So Elokim is we know it's Shulchan Aruch, Torah Shulchan Aruch. It says Elokim is the takif and Baal Kochas Kulam. That the Ribbon Shalom is the Baal Kochas Kulam. So this meant is the pshat is that the Ribbon Shalom is above all the kochas in the world. I think you asked before just now, what is that nagaya to? So our the neshama of a person, we said before another time that the alamas are betzuras adam. Everything is betzuras adam. The tzuras adam means that the derech of hashpos of the Ribbon Shalom to this world, to finally get down to this world is derech adam. The Beis Hamikdash is derech adam, and Shabbat we learn that Melech Shabbos. Everything is derech adam. The adam alone is a tzuras adam, and he's called olam cotton for that reason. So the pshat is because all the hashpos and zok the nefesh chaim and shar aleph. The pshat is that's what it's called when a person is nivra b'tzelem elokim. There's dafka Elokim, because Elokim is the Baal Kochas Kulam, and the pshat is the Adam. The Adam Alain is through his neshama, through his dibur, mais, and makshava. He controls everything, all the way up, all through all the alamas. You want to know how was our shaykhs to the different alamas? It's pshat that Yainachanami. It's a pshat that we control. We through our dibur and our makshava and our mais. That's we control. Whatever happens, we affect. We affect whatever happens in the alama. So then Meshach Chaim explains, he goes into it, not the effect of the Adam in all the alamas is not the same. Means that there are certain effects where you can destroy the connection to the Ribbon Shalom, and that's kares, chas v'shalom. A person is kares, he can cut off himself the gamrei from all the alamas, but the way it works is a pshat is that there's a chibur of the asiyah is mechuba to the yitzira, and the yitzira is mechuba to the bria, and the bria is mechuba to the atzilus. So the pshat is, I don't want to get into it, but it's important that you understand that the person's neshama, wherever his maksav neshmaso is, so pshat so he can affect through his dibur, through his maisa, through his asiyas. It affects the alamas in different ways, and again, not everything is affected in the same way. You'll see, the Shar Aleph of the Nefesh Chaim explains it very nicely. The dibur affects it in one way, but again, that was like, a person, if he does certain things which is kares, he's cut off, but he always can do tshuva because there's always one string. There's, we're now talking about spheres. The spheres are things, or everything are to cause our understanding, to allow us to understand the mahalich of the hashpos of the Ribbon Shalom to this world. To this world. That's what it's called, dark spheres. That's what he created spheres. There's different, we know that there are 10 spheres, everybody knows that. But each olam asiyah has many, many olamas. And has a whole myriad of different, pratim and stuff like that, and Yetzirah, and they're all mechuber again. So this is how what you asked is what's a mir nageya to vastotzich and it is nageya. If you care, if that's they're totally on me. When I go like this is affecting. This is the Gemara Chulin says that they have different. The malachim have different times of saying shir. So there's the different. Some malachim say shir once a day. Some malachim say shir once a. The different mandamrim in the Gemara, but say shir once a. But they can't say shir until I say in the morning. They can't say it's not their time unless I say shir. They're not saying shir because everything is totally on the other. Because and we'll see. That's basically that answer. So okay, so that's what we're talking about over here. So this Breishis Bora Elokim, so the Pshat, besides the Bishvil Torah, Bishvil, the Tachlis of the world, is the Torah, is the Adam Yisrael, but it's Elokim. It's the Tzelem Elokim, because the Adam that was Nivra is verkehrt. This we are mechuber to all the alamas. My neshama, the neshama, everybody has a different place from where his neshama can come from. At different levels, the malachim come from the different alam. It could come from the alam yitzira. You understand? It's, and the Bria, and then you have the Kisei Kabbalah is in one place. It's very interesting. And the Neshamas of a person, the Nishmas or Adam, comes from different places also. So this is mamash the idea that through the Torah, if you get an idea now what's going on, so just through the Asiyas and Mitzvahs Torah, basically, and Asiyas and Mitzvahs, Pshat says that a person is Misraomim, is able to his effect of all the alamas in terms of kedusha purposes. The Nefesh HaChaim says that a person is like he's able to affect it in a positive way or in a negative way. If a person does something that the Torah does not want him to do, so that's in a negative. He affects the hashpos. It's like you heard the term tzinor. It's like there's hashpo. There's pipes coming down with the hashpos from the Rebbeinu Shalom L'mayla, and the pshat, and you affect it. We affect it through our makshava, dibur, and ma'isa. We affect how much hashpos come down to this world. So obviously, to our benefit of the Bria, the Pshat, and that's exactly what the Breishis Bar Elokim is the Pshat that Elokim is the Baal Kochas Kulam, the Rebbeinu Shalom is on top of all the Kochas. He's the source. He's the source of all the Kochas which come into them, and that's the source of all the Hashpos which come into the world, and it filters down through this process, which we call Olames and Spheres and all Mashalim. They're all Mashalim to understand that the Mahalach of the Rebbeinu Shalom, how he comes into this world, how the Hashpos, his Ratzon, is affected. It's you can say, well, so why should anything affect the Ratzon of Hashem? Hashem, has a Ratzon to be meitiv, so why should anything affect the Ratzon of Hashem? So the Pshat said that's exactly, b'chachmasa Yisbarach, that's he created the world, that this cause and effect, that Suri Yaledecha Teshi is the pasuk the Nefesh HaChaim brings down. The Pshat is that's like a sail. It's reflected from the Maisa Adam through the Machshava, the Dibur, the Maisa of the Adam. That affects all the Hashpos that come down from the different worlds and different things. So Memele the Pshara said that's what we're talking about over here. So again, even though we know, like we've spoken about it before, that the Rebbeinu Shalom has a ratzon for a dira b'tachtonim, so it's a little bit confusing the ideas, is the Rebbeinu Shalom here? Obviously the Rebbeinu Shalom's everywhere. The Rebbeinu Shalom is not mitzumtzum to one place for Chas v'Shalom, because that's why he's called Mokum. That the olam is not mekamo. When something is in a makom, it's enveloped, it's encompassed by the makom. The makom encompasses something, and normally, and that's how it works. But the Rebbeinu Shalom is the mekamo shalolam ve'ein olam mekamo. Means that the pshat he is lamayla. He's lamayla from all the any kochas, anything, any metzias that exists in the world, and that's really the idea of kedusha. The Rashba says that it was something which is kodesh, is nivdol from this world, nivdol from all the, and Kodesh Baruch Hu is kodesh kadosh. He's nivdol from kol metzias. The Rambam says ein bal guf and ein bal this. The pshat that that's the Rebbeinu Shalom is v'keret. He's a leis machshavat tfisa bay that we have. He's completely l'mayir from the l'may hasagasenu. Elamai, the only thing that we understand and recognize from Ribono Shalom in this world is how he wants us to, how he affects the world, how his hashpos come to this world. Be'etzem atzmusa yizbarach es leis machshava tfisa. We have no tfisa whatsoever, no understand, not Moshe Rabbeinu, nobody, nothing, no bria that ever existed has any tfisa in the Ribono Shalom alain. It's just purely in hashpos, in the way he's mashpia to this world, and the chasadim that he wants to do to this world, and that those chasadim have a certain mahalach of how he does it, and this is what we're talking about over here. So that's the Bereshis Bora Elokim. That's the Yesod. The Pshaz that when a person is the Tzelem Elokim, is the Torah and mitzvahs, really the Torah. Breish B'Shvil HaTorah is the pshas that gives us that yachasi, that allows us to somehow connect with the Ribono Shalom in a way that the pshas that he set up the situation and the mahalach of the hashpos to this world down through all the olamas, to all the olamas, and down to the olam asiyah is the lowest part. So down to that's through the Torah and the mitzvahs that we do. The Torah, basically the Torah we do. Okay, and that's really the yesod from Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is really the yesod of Yetzias Mitzrayim. That it's nifla, because this is the if you really want to understand Paro and Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is called Meitzer Yam. Is the yesod of Mitzrayim is that everything existed in this world, in our bottom wrong world, and there's nothing up top there. This is a grain. There's a border. Meitzer Yam. That's Mitzrayim. That there's there's nothing out there. Mi Hashem. The Ribono Shalom said, the Paro says, Mi Hashem. I don't know this Hashem. And the Pshaz, even though he thought he knew that when Yosef got out of and was passed the Chalomos of Paro, so he thought he understood that Yosef thought it was only Elokim is the one that does that. So obviously you know who Elokim, but he really didn't understand that there's Elokim. You can have there's many gods, and they have that, and they according to them they affect it, and that's where it ends. That's where it begins, and that's where it ends in this world. In this Olam Osiyim over here, that's called that was the grayness. That was the oftu, and that was the yesod of Mitzrayim. The Meitzer that they had the world was really relegated just to this Olam Asiyah. So the Yetzias Mitzrayim, when the Ribono Shalom took out Klal Yisrael from Yetzias Mitzrayim, was the Yetzirah from that idea that we are mugbul in this world. We're mugbul in the lowest rung of the Olam Asiyah. That's what he thought. That was the Yetzirah from Mitzrayim. Yetzias Mitzrayim was the pshatos that were taking out from that idea, the understanding, and so you have to understand it's a nifladik yesod. It's the pshatos that we tend. You think that Yetzias Mitzrayim was a Yetzirah from a makom like Tuma and Memtesh Shari Tuma and like there must have been Averas going along left and right and that's not exactly the accurate description. There was Memtesh, but you know what the Memtesh Shari Tuma, you know what the Tuma is? When you don't understand that when we think we are part of this, our Iker essence is this world. Our essence is just in this world. That is the Iker Tuma. The Iker Tuma is when he doesn't appreciate that you're neshama. The neshama, the Bereshis Bara Elokim, you don't understand. The Nishmas Yisrael, which goes up, mamash, is Lamaila. That most of us are walking around. Not most of it. We are walking around with a neshama, a helig neshama, which reaches up to all the olamas, which is up to different parts of wherever your machzav the nishmasa comes from. But that's what we are. That is the ikar part of a person. The ikar part of our being, our essence, is taka. The pshat is to understand not to understand, the ikar essence of a person is that we are mechuba to all to much more than just this world. That's what the avodah zarah is. Avodah zarah is you're going to be oved. Avodah zarah is you're oved chechavim azolos, like we said, because the chechavim azolos is movable by the world of the asiyah. She'omer la'olam dai. That's shakai. That the world has a grainitz to it. That's a bechina from this world, olam hazeh. When we talk about olam hazeh, the pshaz, we're talking about a person that is mubul, not a person. That olam hazeh has a limitation to it. And that limitation, that is the biggest tumah you can get, is pshaz, when a person thinks that we are limited. If a person would really realize what a nuclear reactor he is, trying to give an actor of something which is the biggest tremendous koach in the world, in one little atom, you don't understand. You can split and can make such tremendous, unbelievable energy, which is that the energy is translated into an unbelievable power and koach that the world is. There's pilot from that, but that's all in this world. That's world. You were even greater than that. You understand? The person is the yid, the b'shvil Yisrael. Shenikah Reishis is the tachlis of the world, is that you should understand as Elokim that He is the Baal Kochas Kulam, on top of everything, on top of anything that ever existed, and the pshat is, and He gave us and He created us with that Metzias, the Metzias that we are ourselves in Lamailo. So when I see you walking around and we're partaking of the world and we're thinking of the world, the b'shayis, but so you understand that's Mitzrayim. That's had we not gone out of Mitzrayim, when it says in the Haggadah, if you hadn't gone out of Mitzrayim, then we would be shubed anu b'neinu m'shubadim leparo b'Mitzrayim. So all of them, the Farshim asked, "What do you mean? The Mitzrayim's not around? I think it'd be into that shmega in the Mitzrayim now." Like, no such thing. I mean, what does that mean? I'd be meshubed to paro Mitzrayim. He would last and have a no. You know what it would be meshubed to? Because I would have that idea that I'm just in this world. I'm limited. I'm the grayness. That is Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim is that you're a limited bria. You have a limited koach, and that's completely sheker. That is completely sheker. But that's what the world is. You see a person walking around. You have Baruch Hashem. We have you do in this world. You make this. So that's why it's like the mitzvahs. When Akash Baruch Hu gave us mitzvahs, Torah and mitzvahs, is the Torah and mitzvahs is an idea, is enabling us. V'romam tonomi kol hashanas is a pshat that the elevation, the realization that we are a tremendously elevated brias. We're not the bria which is stuck and limited by this world. That's Mitzrayim. And we had a Yetzias Mitzrayim. I had a Yetzias Mitzrayim. I came out and I understood that the Pshat is the Bereishis Bar Elokim, that the Pshat is been mechuba to all the Olamas. All the Olamas are totally on me. You understand? Because how could I? You look regular. That's I once said, Rav Uda said, in Gans Ma'aser Bereishis, you don't see anything that's special about Klai. You don't mention a Klai. So in Gans Ma'aser Bereishis, the Asar Maimaris Shenivra Olam, except one place, whatever. But besides that, there's no. You don't see the because that's the Nisyanos HaChaim. That is the Nisyanos HaChaim. Why you think all the mitzvahs and a lot of the mitzvahs are totally on Yetzias Mitzrayim, and the Pshat Yetzias Mitzrayim totally on Yetzias Mitzrayim, and Shabbos totally on Yetzias Mitzrayim? How could it? What's the Pshat? Is because all these are the idea that we are not limited. We are not limited brias. We have to recognize. We have to recognize that our Metzias is a Metzias which is totally lamaila from anything that we can understand. Anything but we look the same. We look the same. We eat the same things. That's the biggest thought. That's Mitzrayim. You understand? If a person has a mindset that he's going to go through the world and he's go through life You know, the pshat, yeah, I eat kosher. He doesn't eat kosher, but I eat kosher. You know, so I'm doing ratzon. That's I live in this world. I'm this world. I'm mukbal in this world, and I just do. I exist in this world, and I do in this world. I'm a good guy. I do my mitzvahs. I take my lulav, and I eat kosher. So that's good. That's great. Now I'm extra special. I'm extra. But if you don't, he doesn't recognize that he's not this world. He is not part. His ikar essence is not this world. His ikar essence is not this world. It's like the Chazal say that the Shvacha the Mare. The pshat is that if a person is able to, like, you know, a person would think that, what do you mean, I'm a good yid, I'm a fine yid, I do whatever I'm supposed to be doing, like this and, you know, but that's not, Rebbe, you didn't come out of Mitzrayim yet. You have to realize that we came out of Mitzrayim, the Yetzias Mitzrayim was a Yetzia from the Meitzah, not Mitzvah, not the Yetzia that not to do Averis. The Yetzia from that to not understanding, the lack of understanding, lack of appreciation, that we are Brias Mavish Lamayla, our Iker essence. You, the Iker essence is unbelievable. It's Olamas. Olamas and Olamas and Olamas. And it's an amazing thing. So whatever we see down here is a small tip of the iceberg. It's a tip of the iceberg of the person. Is the pshat you don't understand. So if a person would understand that, so the pshat said, then he understands. So like the Nefesh HaChaim says, like, what do you? A person could say, yes, and I don't affect. I'm just a little guy. I'm not an important fellow, and I affect everything. And the pshat says, no, you don't understand. The yid is an unbelievable thing. A tremendous kachas and kachas which come to the source, to the makor, which is the shmasa shal klal Yisrael, is the chelik elokam mimal. If the Rebbeinu Shalom is a Bereishis Bora Elokim, he's a Baal Kochas Kulam, he's a Lamayla from all this, and our Neshama is a Chelik Elokam Maso. Our Neshama is Pili Ployim. And that's what we are. This is just a lavush. This is nothing to, nothing. It's good, and we use it, and the Eibishter help us all be gesund and gewaldig and everything. But that's not who we are really. The essence, really what we are is tremendous lamayla mizeh, tremendous kochas, tremendous this. We're on a shear, not mugba by this world, and that's avodah zarah. So the Pshas said that's what Yetzias Mitzrayim is. A Yetzir from that understanding that when they were working day and night in Klal Yisrael, this it was the Pshas. It was a musig. It was trying to implant in them that you are mutba and just in this world. You're a person of this world. You understand? You're a person of this world. You are not only an occupant of this world, but your Metzias is verteilt from by this world. And when you think that your Metzias is verteilt from this, you're a good guy. Good guy, you do the mitzvahs, you have your Shiur, and you come and you do this. But if you think that this is the Iker, this is what you are, this is the main thing what you are, so Pshas said that's Mitzrayim. That's a person is magbil. He's refusing to understand that he's tremendously unbelievable, much greater than that. That's what I told you. Like Simtayo, the Shvacha de Mare. Like if a person praises the Rebbeinu Shalom, you say you finish praising him. That's it. You can be kolol all the musogim from the Chasu. You can. It's not it's like he's mamash l'mayla from that. So is the Adam. We are a niflidik abriyas which are mechuba to the alamas, all the alamas, even it's maybe more than malachim sometimes. Sometimes more than malachim. The kisei covered is in different. I told you, it's different places. So that's the meduber from Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Yetzias Mitzrayim is an ongoing thing. You have a Seder, you have a this, you have a Pesach, you have a it's ongoing. It's Ilu. You have to look. It's right. Laharos is atzma, liros is atzma. It's Keilu hu yotzim in Mitzrayim. It's a pshas enachanami. It's an ongoing thing because you can't not forget, and you have to be visendik. That we are tremendously important and affect all the alamas, all the hashpahs of the Ratzon Yisbarach to come down into this world. It's all derech the Adam. It's all derech the Adam in the Shmoso, and he's not mugbal. We're not mugbal. We're not people that are Mitzrayim. So we're not people by Mitzrayim people. So Pshat said that is the Nisyonos L'chaim. That's what Akash Baruch Hu created in Ma'aseh Bereishis. You don't see Klai, you don't see that. You see, we look all the same. We look all the same. Yeah, he eats whatever he could eat, and and chazer, and I chas this nish. The Torah said I don't eat it, but we're basically, I'm just a kosher consumer. A kosher consumer, I'm a kosher part of this world. I do my business and I make money, and I'm very much part of the world, but I do it in a kosher way. I'm very, very much I'm a kosher guy. I do chesadim, I do everything. But if you don't understand that that's just the lower aspect, the lowest aspect of the person's essence, his bria, his being. A person has to be understanding of that. He has to be visendik. That this is just purely the most the bottom understanding and the revelation of what he is. But he is much, much more, much, much greater. Every yid is somebody that's mamish mechuber l'mayil and affects all the olamas is pilei ployos nifladik. So that's the idea of Yetzias Mitzrayim. That's the idea of Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Yetzirah from Yeda Zach, that you think you're mugbul. You think you're mugbul. You're not mugbul. You're not mugbul. You're the most greatest thing in the world. Every year, that's why the Klali is Knesset itself, and Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's that together we have him. I can't tell you we have a musig in Adam Rishon, but that was Adam Rishon. Adam Rishon was that kind of bria that was unbelievable. Nifladik was the most unbelievable in the world, and that was ever created. Was this Adam Rishon? Was a very, very ethereal, and his shaykhs to this world was not. We read it and we think that he was a regular guy. You understand? But it was pure most ruchni, like we say by Moshe Rabbeinu, like it says that he was closer to Shemayim than he was to Aretz. He was kamata v'tachzereu me'at me'elokim. He was a almost pure ruchni, Moshe Rabbeinu. The pshat is that we're talking about madregas niflos. So you think, okay, so that's Moshe Rabbeinu. What's the tongue with me? The pshat, no, this is mich. That's I have a neshama. My chelik elokam imal. And that is the ikr of a person. That's the essence. Tahara means that I'm not mutba in this world. You understand? That's why you have the mitzvahs. You have mitzvahs because we are tahara. We have the mitzvahs are coming. Kadshenu b'mitzvah secho means the kadshenu from this world, from the olam asiyah, from this bottom rung. We are separate. We are separate from the world. I told you before that a zona is called a kadesha, because she's not from the normal mahalach of the world. Something is not. We are not from the normal mahalach of the world. We wear the tzitzis, we do different things, but that's all and on to. That's not because we're doing it in this world to be part of the. We're part of the world. You understand that this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we do over here. The Ramam Tono Mikol Hashanas is Al Yidei Torah. The mitzvahs are B'hai Alma. The mitzvahs are in this world, the Olam Asiyah, what we do, we take all the mitzvahs and do it, the Ramachei Varim, the Shas Agidim, and the Tzuras Adam, and we do mitzvahs, but the mitzvahs are in order to separate us. The Rebbeinu gave us the avenue to understand that we are separate, we are different, and therefore he gave us the mitzvahs and b'shas, but the Torah is tonomi kol hashonos means the b'shas. Then I'm separate, but maybe I'm separate in this world. Torah says no, you are something which is mechuber to the lamayla and all the olamas. That's Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is the Yetzias Mitzrayim. Mamela b'shas said that's the Yesod of the Spheres Omer. When you want to know what you're doing in Spheres Omer, is the pshat that is the sphere. Sphere is the pshat is some kind of tfisa sichlius. The pshat is and you count mem tes. You count zayin pomim zayin. That you have zayin shvuas pomim zayin. The pshat is the zayin is this world. Is this world the olam asi? You have this world the bria. The shivas yemei breishis. and you have it in the ganze panorama from the Maisa Bereshis, so you can have Shiva times Shiva, the Pshat, that's 49. That's why you have the Nun, but the B'etzem, what's the point? The point is to get up to the Nun. You got to get up to the Nun. That's the point. That's why we count 1, 2, 3. We count like that instead of counting down. Time until Matan Torah. Because really, but what we're doing, you want to mechabel the terrorist. Havdanas Elokim Harazeh is a pshat, because that's the terrorist is the Ramam Tonom Mikol Hashanos, to understand, to be connect with our Metzias, that we are Brias and Niflos of the Neshamas, of the Chelik and of the Elokam Ima, which is in all the Olamas. That's the Ramam Tonom Mikol Hashanos. We're not just different in terms of we have a different Hanhogas and different this. This is the most nifladik thing in the world. This is the most nifladik thing, because if a person would really understand that, so his whole cook in life would be different. He's not just a kosher consumer. We have consumers. He's a non-kosher consumer. I'm a kosher consumer. I do good. I have certain regulations that I have to do, but we're all part of mankind. And so we're all good and have to do things in this world, and that's our lives. We live. I make panos, we do this with very nice, beautiful. But the guy's missing the boat. He's way up. His effect and his idea, so he can't see you. You don't see the effect. You don't see that. That is the Nisyonos HaChaim. That's the Breishis Bar Elokim. That is the Yesod from the Sphira. The Yesod from Sphira is to understand that we are people that use our whole tfisa, like Avram Avinu, to use the tfisa from whatever tfisa of Torah, whatever tfisa you have in this world, but it's a mix, it's a drop in a bucket of what our effect and where we are and what our Metzias is. You got to be in tune with your Metzias, with your reality. So
what's the 7 times 7?
The 7 is Shivas Yimei Breishis.
Okay.
7 times 7 is like the filled, the complete.
But what's the other 7? The 7 is the Shivas Yimei.
Yeah, in two-dimensional, you have the different dimensions and stuff like that. You have different aspects of the 7, but it's all part of the Yimei Breishis. You understand?
And to get up to the 50 is
the 50 is the understanding. The pshat is that the 50 is the understanding. The pshat, the beyond our understanding. That we are, most of us are beyond our. Is within the.
And then 50 is.
That's why you don't count it. That's why you don't count it. Das meint the Maral. This meant the Maral. You can't separate the 49 from the 50. You're right, and counting is 49 and 50 over here. There's not like to talk about. Is the big crafting the 50? There's nothing to talk about. But that's not right, because the whole 49, the whole tfisa, the whole Yigiyas HaTorah, the whole idea is understanding the pshat is that we are much more than that. Wherever you get up to, whatever the Yigiyas you make, and whatever understanding, whatever it is going to come to. But the pshat is there's the Lamaila. You are a Bria Lamaila from that. It's a nifla de gezach. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu was not nisgala to him the Shanun. It was not nisgala Shanun. Whatever was given at Har Sinai. He was not the Kol Torah Kula was given by Har Sinai, but whatever was given at Har Sinai, that was Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe is the Spitz. Didn't get the Shanun, because that's is Lamayil. Even from Moshe, there's Lamayil. There's his Neshmaso had to hear from Moshe. Rabbeinu Moshe was from the highest realms, the highest parts, close to the Rebbeinu Shalom, close, very close to the Pshas HaMamela. That's Nun. That's Nun, but that's no Tisperu. That's not part of the Sipur. You understand? The Sipur is not, but you need that Sipur. You need to exhaust all avenues and then more, and then some. So Pshat said that's the idea. That's the idea of Sphira. When you count Sphira, the Pshat is that and that's what the Yetzias Mitzrayim. You understand? When do we count Sphira? The Omer is Mimachas HaShabbos. We talk from the first night of Shabbos. So one soldier, the Leshem, says that the Pshat is that if we would be in another regis, so we would be on the Mem Tashai Toma, we'd be on the Fafala. And the Pshaz, no, the Lashon says, what do you mean? Every Makkah from the Sarah Makkahs in Mitzrayim, it's a Pshaz of Fikir, that was a Mavir to the Sarah David, that was, we were Nogo for Rofel, the Yisod of the Makkahs was Nogo for Rofel, it was a patch for the Mitzrayim, and it was an Aliyah from Klai Yisrael. So when we got to Makkahs Becharis, we were in the highest Madrega. We're in the highest madrega. Forget that's what the sphere is. The Shazah, when you're in the highest madrega, when you're before the Yetzias Mitzrayim, you have tesh'vo. When you have Yetzias Mitzrayim, that also is tishp'u. Then you got to now be miyageh because the Rebbeinu Shalom gave it to us the matana. That madrega from understanding and the metzias of what we were, what we are, is the pshaz of briyas lamayla and close to the Rebbeinu Shalom and all the alamas. The pshaz that was the matana. Now, yes, you have to work on it. Yes, you have to zabana of them. You have to be a gay yourself. You have to schwitz on it. You have to be kind of that madrega. What's that like Avram Avinu? That's when you get to the Kriyas Yamsuf. Is a roh shivcha layam ashal roh Yechezkel ben Buzi. What's a shaykh? The roh shivcha layam. Mashal roh Yechezkel ben Buzi. The shivcha yam. She saw roh mashal roh Yechezkel ben Buzi. Garo hanavim. There's another gersa. Garo hanavim. Was a shaykh the pshat is because whatever is godless that the pshat, but that was in Mitzrayim, that was the matana, that was the matana of the nun and the pshat, and yet you have to be arbid of them. Yes, you have to arbid them, but she had that matana from Klai, so that's the Yetzias Mitzrayim. That is the sphere of Omer is the Yetzias Mitzrayim b'shlei Musa. You understand? It's the hashlomo of that. The Yetzias Mitzrayim is that madrega that we understand. But yes, we work when we arbetzich and we go. We call them madregas and understanding in Torah and Yigiyas Torah and Pshaz in order to understand that we are phenomenal briyas nifla ad ma'od. And this is our avoda. This is our. We can't. You can't get away from that. You understand? So even when you do a deal and stuff like that, you got to realize this is just the bottom rung of your metzias. This is not encompassing your metzias. This world does not encompass your metzias, your reality. Even if you're a big tzaddik, you eat kosher. You get the most expensive lulav. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. But if you think that that's what the Ratzona Yisbarach is, that's what it's all about, is the Pshad, and you're just a chelik of the world, you're just a kosher consumer, so that's not it, that's your Mitzrayim. The best of Mitzrayim. You're not that. It's a shod. You know what you people are. You know what every individual yid. You know what an us from the Torah is. And us from the Torah is infinite. It's infinite. It's not movable by this world. This world, even the Olam Asiyah, whatever, and how expensive. I'm telling you, you have to get the juxtaposition of how great and unfathomable the Metzias of the physical world is, and then and it's much more than that, and we're beyond that. We're beyond the Omer Sha'omer La'olam Dai. The Pshaz every year is a Pshaz as an infinite, because his Shnama is an Chelik from Lokam Imal. The Chelik Lokam Imal is infinite. Is not, and that's what we are. That is our Iker essence. The Iker essence of a person is the Pshad. He has to realize that. You have to realize that when we exist in the world, but we have to understand that there has to be an awareness of what we are. You have to be aware of what you are. If you're aware of what you are, so the Pshad said that's what the Sphere Omer is coming to. The Sphere Omer means that I want you to. That's Yetzias Mitzrayim, and that's the Sphere Omer. The Pshad said that this is the avoda from Sphere Omer. So it's okay.
So that's like really scary. Like if Chas Shalom someone goes by care, they do not vary like one little. No, see, so that's not talking. That's Ein Tzadi Bar Shiyasat of Adam. Ein Tzadi Bar Shiyasat of Lo Yechta. That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about Averis here. I'm not talking about a person that doesn't do what the Ratzon. That's true. That's what the Nefesh Chaim says. When you're doing Averis and so it's like you affect everything. Yeah, sure. You cut off the hashpos to the but I'm telling you that that's not the point. The point is not to do Averis, not to do Averis.
You can say, okay, so I'm a kosher consumer. I have to make sure I keep kosher. I have a hitzach that I have to be very careful to do mitzvahs and do whatever I'm supposed to do. But you don't understand. When you're davening, when you say a word, when you have a machshava, the machshava is not part of this world. The machshava goes up and affects all the alamas. That's the point. The Yetzias Mitzrayim here is good. The Yetzias Mitzrayim is the coming away and negating that idea that I'm a citizen of this world and I'm just a product and I'm mugba by this world. I'm Meitza Yam. That's the honor of B'nai would be Meshubanim the Paro Mitzrayim. How we not come out in that reggae of Shas and Enochanami? So we would think that that's our existence. That idea is completely not like that, and that's why the Rebbeinu Shalom gave the Pshas, and that's why he gave first. There's a mitzvah Hakravas Omer. You come there the next day after Yom Tov. In Malchus Hashabs, you have the Hakravas Omer, because that was the idea. The Hakravas Omer was that idea that you're taking this Meichel Behema. You understand? Behema is eitos Behema. You look with we're bombarded by this. You understand? We're bombarded that the Pshat is the Welt. You know, you come from baby. The bist Behema. The bist educated Behema. You have this and because why a behemoth has no olam haba, behemoth has nothing to accept that exists in this world. Ik bin nicht behemoth. I'm a tell you, I exist in all the Allah. In fact, all the alamas, I exist in all the alamas. That's my metzias. I don't see it. If you don't see it, bist hashkota. Bist hashkota. What do you mean? This is the Torah. This is what we're talking about. This is the reflection, the understanding, the eye. It's beyond our understanding. Good. This is the Tispra. That's memtes. I can understand what you can understand. Everybody learn and do and miyageh and learn as much as you can and do what you can. But if you don't even understand, have a tfisa in it, but you have to understand that the 49 leads to the 50. Even Moshe Rabbeinu got to Behar Nevo, the Pshaz Nunbo Chazal Darshan. That even Moshe Rabbeinu got to the 50, the Pshaz, and that what they say to Rebbe Kiva, the Chavera was Zocha, so that's the different Madregas, the different Malobas, different Madregas, and different Madregas, Rebbe Kiva was Zocha to a Nun. But the Pshaz, but that's not the highest of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was Hecher. But he wasn't so good because lo yareni adam v'chai b'hem. That's Rebbeinu Shalom. Okay, so we don't have it, so we have no understanding of that. That's what the Ral says. The memtes is memtes, and nun is nun. Nun is what on the tispru, on the tfisa sichlis. But you come if you get to that memtes, you make you schwitz and you do and you're this and you come and you understand that you're such a bria. Niflu from something which affects all the pshas. So then the Eibusha gives matana. But then we miyageh. Then we go back to after the matana, after the test zion. The pshas say, "What you miyageh?" You start counting spheres over 1, 2, 3. What's 1, 2, 3? There's this endachanami. The derech dar hadroga from one palm acher palm. The pshas, and that's what that's our business in the world. But the amelus in this world and the Torah that we're learning in this world, Bereshis, B'shvil Torah Shenikra Bereshis, is the Bereshis Bara Elokim is to understand. We're trying to be mischaber, and we understand that we're coming to the Elokim with Selam Elokim Chelik, which is Lamar Chelik Lamayla from this world. For not only this world of Asiyah, for all the alamas. Don't you understand? The Rebbeinu Shalom is on top of everything. All mitzias was that's the Rebbe, and we have a shaykhs to that. We have whatever madrega, whatever we're holding, but we have a shaykhs to that, and that's we have to understand. That's what we are. It defies. You understand that everything is against this. This is the nisyonos achaim. This is the biggest nisoyon achaim that we have. Nisoyon achaim is not to do not to eat something which is not kosher. Nisoyon achaim is when you think domains that the business can, you don't affect all the alamas. You don't affect all the alamas. You're not there. That's the nisoyon. That's the yeah, sure. You want to look with the flesh and you don't want to be a gay and terror. The terror is mirameim. Is misrameim the person, like we said by Rabbi Yossi. Is kama Yossi ika b'shulka. The pshat is going samached and psachim. So the pshat said that's the idea. That's our daily understanding. Nisoyan that we have to go through. And that's a privilege to go through. That's what we're put in this world, but we're given enough information. We're given enough, the Giyas of Torah, and the Torah is wonderful, and the Torah is infinite, and it's Matana, the Torah is given Matana, and this is so that's the Hadraga, from the fear, from the Korban Omers, that we got it by Matana. There was no mem test before that. But afterwards, once you get it by Matana, and you roll Shifcha al Yam Mashallah Roy Yechezkel Ben Buzi, woo! So and the Chanami said that, but then we got to work on it. We're not here just as this. You have to understand B'sichli Seinu, that this is something, that this is the reality. This is the Metzias. This is what we are, and this is the reality. And you have to, and the more a person's miyageh in the Torah, which is the infinite with the Pshas, that's when it comes to the hecher understandings, the dargis of understanding, which is purely matana, which is Shar Norden, and different, and each olam has its own Shar Norden, and it's niflidik. But we have to understand, we are from the old. This is a tip of menayam, what you see here. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is purely lafush. This is nothing. It's here today, gone tomorrow. It's nothing. That's not our ikar essence. That's not our ikar what we are. You understand? It's finished a kosher behema. Finished a kosher behema. You understand? We have to realize the omek. The omek of our metzias. That's this man. That is the Geulas Mitzrayim. The Geulas Mitzrayim, that was Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is the Magbil. You understand? We don't look at it like, we look at it like it's a backwards, and we had hard work, and about its perich, and this, and then, no, it's a hashpol of the Tzuras Adam. The hashpol of the Tzuras Adam. You think that you get up and you do, like, okay, I said, you think you do your thing, and you're this, and you're a good guy, and you do Ratzin, and that's beautiful, and you learn a Torah a little bit, nice. But if you don't realize what you are what you're your achrayas, like you just said, like that what a person is responsible for. So Pshas and Chanabi, so that's Bechinas Mitzrayim. That's Mitzrayim. Are you Geulas Mitzrayim? Are you Tzias Mitzrayim? It's a Geulah, and that's the Spheres Hamer. Is the Pshat, is the Tezayin, is the Korban, and then you have the what? Then you have the Tzia. You have the Sphere. The Sphere, the Tfisa Sichlis. You get up, you need the Tfisa Sichlis to try, but it's still Matana. The Torah is infinite. The Torah is still Matana. But you get your Tfisa Sichlis, and you come to a certain Madrega, and you get Vaita, and the Rebbe Shach is a Vaita Matanas. All the Sichlis, that's the Nun. And that's what the Maral means. That's the mem test. It has mechuba. It's not right. You can't be mafrid the mem test from the nun. The pshas that defeats the whole ball game. You understand? That's against the purpose. That's against what our purpose here. A mela. I know where we holding. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a moving. Was the grosh? That is the chet from the chet egel. What was the siba from chet egel? Is the pshat is that the state and grow. The pshat is that the cheta ego was were mafrid in the Shem Elokim, between the Eila and the me. The Shem Elokim, you're mafrid in the Shem Elokim. What does that mean? The Shem Elokim, or mafrid the Shem Elokim. It's a pshat because what you did was you took the Rebbeinu Shalom who is lamayla from all the mitzias from the hashbos and the pshat, and you're supposed to be part of it, and you made a cheta ego. What was the cheta ego? Ich will a manik. Like the Ramban says. You wanted a manik. All right, so what's a schlecht? You want a manik, because this is all a siyadik. That's a siyadik. That's olam. You took a Moshe Rabbeinu who was from Aliyah Olam, was from Moshe Rabbeinu who was a Texarei Matve Elokim, who was unbelievable. You saw the chibur you saw the Keren or Ponov, you saw the Getaklight, and you this and the bilsta a manik. You want a behemoth. You want a behemoth? Du bist a behemoth, a kosher behemoth? Du bist a behemoth? Was is it? You're schlecht. Das is the Avodah Zarah. Das ist the big rest of Avodah Zarah Welt. Das ist die Avodah Zarah. Das ist Avodah Gechavim Masalas. Das ist you mumble yourself by the
They
belt.
wanted more. They wanted Eiler. They wanted they wanted the whole.
Yeah, they said Eila, they said Eila Lekecha, but they were mafia. No, they didn't want to go above beyond.
From the me.
They wanted from dust this world. They wanted the I told this world is nifladik. It's a take on it's tremendous.
They understood Eiler.
No, they didn't understand nothing. They understood that that's what they wanted.
They saw this. They saw the Makov, and they wanted.
That's what the gun says. That they were mafrid. They were mafrid between that
itself.
That Tzelem Elokim. No,
being mafrid means to say that they saw it, but
no, they wanted this world. They wanted,
but they didn't understand that it's that they have full connection to the me, which is the bina. They didn't understand.
All right, so I'm talking terms of where I'm
that's what you say. That's what you're going to say.
Yeah, no. I tend to disagree. I'm not. You're not saying you're not right, but I'm disagreeing that Pshar said you're not.
To a level, maybe.
You're not understanding that Pshar said what they wanted was in the Welt. They wanted a manig. They wanted a hog in the Welt. They wanted a manig in this Welt. They were not going to Olamas. They were not going to Olamas, and that was the problem. But that was the answer. You see, it's Israel. That was right. You come out of Mitzrayim and you understand. You're supposed to be woo. You understand what you are. Well, was bist du? Du bist der Breishis Vel Akim Shvil Yisrael. Was du bist and yet willst du behema. Du willst sein a behema. You want to be a kosher behema. You want to be good. You want to be good. You want to do all your mitzvahs, whatever you want to have to know about Parshas in this world. In the world, you think you're mugbul. No, du bist nicht mugbul. That was the chet. That was the chet. The chet, the business mugbul. The business mugbul. You understand? So good. So you understand that was the goyim, the Erev, whatever. But the pshat was the klai. Were they were nichnas into that? Where were they were nichnas into that? What was the allure? You understand what was the piyus that they came and they were because they lost their sense of what they were. This is gemein the ganze this is Rayim. There's the best mamish unbelievable. Each one of you is pili ployim is the fact only olamas. This is when you're mafrid. Is the tzelem Elokim. You're mafrid the Elokim. So Pshar said that's I have a rayim sukim and stuff like that. And so that's all right. It's like 1 second. Let me just. Okay, so I don't. I have to. It's a good idea here. It's a medrash. The medrash rabbi Iker rabbi here. Okay, so we mentioned about the. Where is this? Chav Ches Vav here. Iker rabbi. Okay, then it comes out. Pili Ploim. Mama's Pili Ploim. Parshas Emor. Okay, what is it? Chav Ches. Yeah. I think it's over here. Someplace over here, something. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yochanan Omar. Rabbi Yochanan says, "The olam alti mitzvahs haomer kala beinecho." I had to let this is nifla. Sha'al yodo mitzvahs haomer sha'al yidei mitzvahs haomer zocha Avram lira shesaaretz. Yes, Eretz Canaan. So Pshar said that's the word. The Pshar is that was state by was again. So the Eretz Canaan, I forgot to mention before. So that's the word of any place that the Eretz Yisrael and Beis Hamikdash and the Sar Kedushas of Eretz Yisrael, the Beis Hamikdash and the Kedoshim, they're all levels of madregas of Kedusha. Because our place is not this world. Our place is not to be movable from the world. In Kodesh, we need a Makom Kodesh where besides the Einei El Shem El Kecho is on that place, because that's That's who we are. We're not mugbal by the. If you're mugbal by the world, you live in them wherever you live. You live this, you live in that, and you live in that place. There's all places mugbalas in this olam asiyah. Mashen came by bayuns. We have to our place, our makom, the ikar makom says mitzvah is going to Ramban. The pshat is a fikir. That's the whole idea. The pshat, we can only live in a place where the pshat is that place is movdal, because we are movdal. We are mostly not in this world. So you need a place. That's what you need. As to say, you need kedusha. You need your base of mikdash. And it didn't come the laws of the normal laws of the mahalach of this world doesn't go through like in the base of mikdash. It was enam in amida. This is what we're talking about. This is our metzias, our makom. Our makom is the makom the Rebbeinu Shalom, who's not the Rebbeinu Shalom, is not the makam. The world is not encompassing the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom encompasses the world. That's Eretz Yisrael is a chelik, is also a chelik, a dugmaf and a chelik of it's the Rebbeinu Shalom's makom. It's the Rebbeinu Shalom's makom. So Mela, that's why he says that don't have to say that, and that we said again. And remember, this is what the mitzvah omer is. So that's why he says Rabbi Yochanan says la'olam alti he mitzvah omer kol beinecho. Okay, you make a korban, a lot of korbanos in it. What's the big deal? Sha'al yodam al yidei mitzvah omer zachar from the Yerush Haaretz. That we only got our chelik ba'aretz, our chelik in this pshat is that we're nivdol dika nifla dika brias, and only from Avram Avinu. He was because of the korban omer. What do you mean because of the korban omer? Because that's what we just said, that the korban omer was given is a given to this to understand that we are part of Misraim. We're not chelik of this world. This is not our ikar essence. Is not part of this world, and you're not part of this world. That's Eretz Yisrael. That's why you got Eretz Yisrael. He was only Yerush. That's why Achar Dvar Ba'ela Dvar Shem Machaz Alemer Al Tira Avram. He says, yeah. Hey, lean on the Sata Zora. Yeah. And we said that we mentioned many times that this was the schus. This was the nifladik madrege from Zera Av. You go basa Zera Av, which is vayatze elsa achutza. He vyotze elsa achutza. Vayamra ha beit no hashamayim. Sefur hachachavim. This is the spirit. Sefur hachachavim. Im tuchel. Because you can't do it or you can't count. Im tuchel. Lispor asal vayamalo kol yezaracha. That's what the Yidden are. That's what your Yidden are going to be. That's your Yidden be. That's why you're Zoch to the Aretz. You're Zoch to the Aretz because you are Yidden. And Yidden is trying to say that's something which is Lamayel. From Hasoga Seder. That's the Sphira. The Yakshavela, yeah. But you say like Chutza, what is the Rashi? Is Davar Acher. Hotziu mechalolo sha'olam. That's the word. He took him out from above the world. We have to take him out from the world. Just tell him to show that this is what you're going to get. What do you have to go pick up from? Mechalolo shalom. Yeah, because he want to tell you that's what you are. Every year is lamayla mechalolo shalom. You're walking around. You're lamayla mechalolo shalom. Don't you understand? You're disnished and mugbu from this world. Lamayla min hakachavim. Lamayla min hakachavim. From then, that's that you was that's the Yerush Haaretz. That's Omer. That's the Korban Omer. That's unbelievable. That's the Nun. That's why we said Nun. It was the Nun before the Sphere. B'zehu lashon bottom labayla labato. So Pshas Ados is man. You look at it, think it's like a nice watch. Yeah, he took him out and they appear through the window, and you see you got a glare. No, it was a blick at your Metzias Avram Avinu. You blick from was is a yid, is a you do best, and what the yid and what the Yiddish kinder are going to be is a pshas that the zaracha, ki zaracha are going to be people that understand we're bechelik, we're osias atayra, we're osias atayra lamayla from the tzias of this world. It's osias parchas ba'avah, but it's for the chachavim. That's where you keep it. And that's why he says, V'yikachlo, he told him to take an egel mishaleshes, whatever. V'yikachlo es kol eile. Es kol eile is that's me, that's Elokim. That's Elokim. That's Kol Eila. Kol Eila is me Eila. Me Eila is the pshat that they were mafrid, and that was the Chet Ego. Is the pshat that Kol Eila is the pshat that Kol Eila. Dus bist du. Du bist a Tzelem Elokim. You understand what you bist? Du bist a Tzelem Elokim. And for that's the Korban Omer, that's the Sfiras Omer, that's the Yitzitz Mitzrayim, and that's Mamish Ben Vizah Eretz Yisrael. And the pshat said that's the Mamish Niflo Ad Ma'od. That was the help.